2026 World Cup is everyone's eyes glued to the pitch. But mobile gaming in fact doesn't stop for a second. Hello friends, welcome back, this is Mobo, and today we're checking out even 20 more new games for Android and iOS you must try while it's hot. So first of all, this is a rather honorable mention, of course. Number one, we've got Limit Zero Breakers, which is right now in its test phase. It's a prologue, basically, giving you a first look at the world, some of the characters, a pretty decent gameplay polish and pitch. Limit Zero Breakers seems to be a very story-driven RPG, but with like a pretty stylish combat and a big focus on co-op. You can run solo, of course, but the real structure basically shines in 3-player co-op, especially when boss fights happen, where like the team composition and character swap-ins is just a whole thing. It is early, of course, but the ambition's pretty loud, and if they really land the full release properly, it could end up being one of those next wave sort of action RPGs people keep coming back to forever. It's a free game, but 7 GB in total. Moving down to number 2, we've got Barbie Horse Ride and Rescue, which actually goes all the way in on a cozy, story-driven sort of adventure with a actually surprisingly polished pedigree behind it. This game is from the team behind Rival Stars. So far, it carries a surprisingly high level of polish, and it's aiming for a rather cinematic and lifesome adventure for players who want something calm and story-rich. So in the game, you are basically volunteering for a rescue ranch, and you're caring for, rescuing, and bonding with horses in need. You groom them, ride them, customize saddles and gear, and slowly uncover the story as well. Pretty wholesome game. It is available worldwide except the US regions, some of them at least, which is coming out to those regions as well in 4 days from now. Sound of Heroes, I've already mentioned the game. It sort of feels like the exact opposite of what most mobile games are trying to do right now, where there's no world-ending thread every 5 minutes, no energy bars, no endless pop-ups just begging for your wallet. You're just riding through an open world, meeting people, taking part in daily life stuff, and slowly uncovering a bigger mystery hiding underneath all of the adventure. The game reviews so far have been pretty positive, especially from horse fans who appreciate the relaxing atmosphere and the story-driven approach to the game, although some players feel the pacing can be a little slow. Yeah, if you are actually after something cozy instead of chaotic, this one's got a pretty unique charm. It is free for a couple of chapters, and the next chapters are coming, they're gonna be paid. Moving on to number 5 with the game Inazuma 11 Cross, which is level 5, finally bringing Inazuma back to mobile, not sort of as a straight football game. This time it is a sport RPG where you're basically acting as the brain behind the team. So you gotta build a squad, set tactics, pick moves, and then like watch everything play out through a command-based system instead of just full control per se. And if you grow up on the series, this is basically that same drama. It's just rebuilt for a more strategic mobile game, simple enough to dive in at any time, yet engaging enough to keep playing for a long time. Highly recommend it. Going down to number 4, we've got Busmasters. Believe it or not, this game is downloaded nearly 5 million times in just 2 days, and no, it's not because it's an Indian game, it's actually decent. The game is built around a very specific idea, which is you're driving inner city bosses through the rhythm of India, which is almost the equivalent of Dark Souls when it comes to bus simulator games. So it's a very polished game and the visuals do really pop. Overall, it's a pretty grounded sim game focused on realism, progression, and of course capturing the everyday feel of an Indian highway travel, like with each bus handling differently. It also includes offline play, why not? Now, we don't really position a sport game in our top 5, but when it's justified, there is no hesitation as well. And Flash Peak, I gotta say, man, really deserves a good spot. It's available worldwide unlike the previous game, very well considered and developed for low-end devices, and it's pretty much player-friendly. Meaning it's not a technical game, it's more like actual sports football arena. There's 4v4 real-time matches, third-person view, full control of the player, and everything is happening fast enough that there's like no time to overthink anything, it's just wits. No offsides, no fouls, nothing to kill the flow here. It is playable both online and offline, and it's a free game as well. Soulland Awakening World is actually the first open world MMORPG built around the Soulland universe. Definitely not the best, not even a proper one to be frank, but it's an attempt and a lot of folk demanded it. Primarily aimed at fans of the anime and the novels, it's got a pretty big world to explore with a bunch of bosses, hidden areas, familiar characters, and well, unlike a lot of MMOs, combat seems to be the focus. Not that it's, smooth or actually enjoyable though, but if you've been waiting for a Soulland game in an MMORPG form, well, this is probably for you, otherwise definitely skip. And number 8, we've got Gears Tower Defense, which is a steampunk strategy with deep Victorian industrial designs and that sort of constant feeling of building a living machine fortress. At its core, in fact, it's a merge-based tower defense kind of game where you combine gears to evolve defensive units and unlock more advanced steam-powered heroes as you go, but it's not also just simple merging and upgrading. There's more to it, and it's made in a way that no matches ever feel the same. If you like merged tower defense game with a bit more depth and randomness, this one actually has a pretty solid balance between strategy and chaos. It's also free. Kicking off number 9, we've got Kick Off Football 26, Be a Pro. It is actually clearly trying to position itself as a next-gen experience, and it's also built around competitive play. The game pushes technical performance very hard with up to 240 FPS support and some strong customization and overall build for a fast, competitive sim-focused game rather than anything else. Requires a lot of skill, and it's just made in a way to make you wanna constantly work hard for rank progression. Matches are, however, designed for some short, high-intensity sessions with real-time one-on-one gameplay, rank ladders, multiple competitive modes as well. It's a very competitive game, it's built for progression. At number 10, we've got Tomb of the Mask. And if you've never played it before, well, good for you, Netflix just gave you the perfect excuse to play it. If you've got a subscription, of course. The game's a retro arcade hit that's already been downloaded about hundreds of million times over the past few years. It's now back as a premium Netflix release with no ads, no energy systems, none of the usual mobile nonsense getting in the way, simple to learn, surprisingly hard to master, and it is just one of the most addictive arcade games mobile has ever produced. It is, you could say, a timeless gem. Going down to number 11, it is Legend Wars 3. It's basically free idle RPG system overload, but it's also done correctly. You just summon heroes, creatures, etc., make skills and gear to create stronger setups for every fight as you go. The game constantly pushes progression with PvP duels, party battles, all running alongside idle growth, so your squad keeps leveling as you go and get rewarded. On top of the combat, there is resource gathering, of course, base building, mini-games, and a merge system as well. It's the kind of game that's always giving you something to do. It's a free game, about 400 megabytes in total actually. After about 4 years of apparently some development hell, Choo Choo Charles has now finally arrived on Android and iOS. I mean, officially, there's been some fan and unofficial attempts that have actually been taken down, and we tried it. It is still one of the weirdest games in the bunch when we're talking about horror games. If you missed it on PC or any console before, the mobile version gives you the same quality of the PC version, basically nothing watered down here, pretty solid execution, offline play, and controller support as well. And we do actually highly recommend the game for people who do want a horror game, but something different. It's a relatively short experience of a game, roughly 4 or 5 hours in long, but it's a sort of game that doesn't stuff itself with filler just to claim a bigger playtime. Keep in mind, it's a premium game with a price tag of $4.99. Going down to number 13, it is Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. And it did take about 6-7 years to finally make its way around here. Hopefully, it's coming to Android in the following days as well. It's available now on the Apple Store. See, Monster Boy is one of those games that looks cute, harmless, at first glance only, then proceeds to absolutely demolish you in every way there is. With the scenario, the puzzles, the bosses, the platforming, it's technically a Metroidvania, but it also feels like a mix of old school Zelda, platforming, treasure hunting, puzzle solving, all that at once. The game's world's huge, the animations are amazing, soundtrack's a super hit, and simply put, it's just one of the strongest adventure games you will ever play on Android. Going down to number 14, we've got Lineage W. Lineage W was locked behind regional releases for over 4 years. It's available now. If it is still not available in your region, don't worry, developers are tying some loose ends. It's supposed to work by the end of next week, especially if you're in the US. So this game is an old school MMO, brimming with open worlds, PvP, guild conflicts, castle battles, loot hunting, and it's built as a modern evolution of the classic Lineage games, keeping the hardcore MMO identity while, updating the visuals in the world itself. If that is your thing, give it a go. If it says it's not available in your country, do wait for another week.
Contact with enemy structure confirmed.
Going down to number 15, we've got Modern Jet Fighters, which is, I'm gonna say it's basically aerial fighting sim, sorta stripped down into multiplayer. Like, you're not sitting through a full flight sim sort of game here, you just jump into jet fights and every match is about outplaying the other players. Most of the game actually lives in its PvP mode, it's got 5v5 team battles, 3v3, quick one-on-one duel matches. You can unlock jets, winning, upgrading weapons, slowly turning your craft into something way more deadly than what you just basically started with. It's a pretty simple game, very arcade heavy, but when the matches click, it really does feel like some real chaotic aerial warfare for that size, on mobile as a free game. Number 16, we've got Necromancer Tower Defense, which is basically self-explained right there. It's a tower defense game with just a ton of cats, magics, and the tower defense chaos. You play as a apprentice here called Necromancer, who apparently accidentally summons these hordes of deads after messing with some forbidden spellbook, and now it's up to you and your cat's squads to fix the disaster. And from there it turns into a roguelike tower defense loop where you place, learn towers, cast spells, etc. Very cat focused sort of game. Underneath it all though is a pretty good solid tower defense loop with plenty of replay value. Too Many Orders at number 17 on the other hand is another form of sort of diner dash, and the name I would say really justifies the whole thing. It's just basically too many orders to handle. Like, you're not cooking anything here, you're just trying to survive this endless rush of orders coming in from every direction. Each level then throws something more complex, forcing you to prioritize dishes, manage timing and place everything in the right order before the whole system just breaks down. Pretty easy game to learn, stressful but in a good way. It's almost also perfect for short bursts, so just one more try gameplay. Curse We Made at number 17 is this pretty small indie that isn't actually even trying to look good, but just to tell a good story instead. It's a puzzle adventure, of course, as you can see, where you arrive in this forgotten town that Curse has slowly drained all life from it. From there, it's all about discovering, solving puzzles, uncovering journals, piecing together what actually happened to the town and its people. What actually stood out for me personally was the vibe. Pretty creepy without being scary, it is pretty cozy as well, and the hand-drawn art gives everything a pretty neat storybook feel. Even better, it respects your time because it's just about 1 or 2 hours of gameplay tops. It's not a free game, it's 99 cents though. At number 19, we've got Ticket Hero, which is still in its pre-registration phase. It is a pixel art RPG from basically start to finish. I would say this is fine as words can actually describe this game. It's got a pretty simple hook. You awaken different heroes through tickets, then you mix and match their skills to build your own combo. And while the gameplay is largely just idle-based, the action still feels very flashy and alive. It does pack in arena battles, guild wars, boss raids, dungeons, daily events, so there's always something also happening for you to come back to. Number 20, we've got the game Duper. I do believe we mentioned Duper once a couple of months ago. I don't know why it was re-released, but in case you missed it, the game just came out globally, and it's actually a pretty good strategy social deception game. It is 100% competitive right off the bat. If you like strategy games where reading people matters just as much as playing the board and the strategy, Duper hits that spot very hard. It is sort of a 5-player match where everyone's trading, fighting, secretly manipulating each other at the same time. It mixes resource control, territory play, and social deception where helping someone can sometimes be the winning move or the exact opposite. It's a free game, it's out now on Android and iOS, give it a shot. And last but not least, we've got one of the finest that's actually released in the past couple of days, one of the finest premiums as well. Circuits too. It's actually one of those rare educational games that remembers it's supposed to be a game first. The whole thing revolves around teaching coding concepts through puzzle solving, and honestly it does a pretty good job of it. Like, instead of overwhelming you with lessons, it sort of lets you learn by guiding a little robot through some really clever challenges. The puzzles themselves are pretty smart, presentation is clean, soundtrack gives it some depth. It's not a perfect game of course, but the foundation is very strong. Suffice it to say, if you enjoy puzzle games and want to learn some coding logic along the way, this is a 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching, really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao.